Welcome to the 2019 Hyundai Archery World Cup and a dramatic opening stage in Medellin, Colombia. World number one Mike Schlusser and the USA's Braden Gelantine go head-to-head for men's gold. There was little to choose between France and Italy in the men's team event, and could Sarah Lopez exploit home advantage against Jodie Vermeulen in the women's final? A stunning city in the heart of Latin America, Stage 1 of the 2019 Hyundai Archery World Cup has returned to Medellin in Colombia for the first time in 3 years. For the second year in a row, the winner of each stage books their place in the finals in September. We begin with the men's gold medal match where reigning world number one Mike Schlusser of the Netherlands was up against the USA's Braden Gelantine. Remarkably, Braden hadn't won a stage on the circuit for almost 6 years. Mike, meanwhile, claimed individual gold medals in Antalya and Berlin last year. Well, we're about to get underway. It's time for the gold medal match in the men's individual compound.
Yes, sir. Perfect. Done. Yes, sir.
Yeah, there it is. Well, the sighter is in a 9, he's corrected that for a 10. Can Mr. Perfect start with a perfect score.
He definitely knew that was going there before it even hit the target.
Well, that 9 at the start corrected well by Braden Gelantine, but Mike Schlusser shooting a perfect score to get things off the mark.
So something interesting to notice about Braden's form is normally he's shooting a 4-finger release. That means there are 4 valleys for his fingers to go into. Normally when he shoots, he draws back with 3 and then adds that pinky on at the very end. Today he's got that pinky curled, so maybe he changed something a little bit so that he's a little more comfortable with the way his shot breaks. But still really solid shooting, just didn't really like that first arrow.
Yeah, there it is. All right, Braden, you got it. Strong shot.
A bit low. But it's good in the middle.
Perfect. Done.
Time ticking away there. Coach counting down from 10. Forced another 9 from Gelantine.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
a bit low. You're there, you're fine.
Perfect. Done.
Overcorrection?
Strong shot.
I think if I saw that right, I think maybe his pin was there and he just executed a little early.
Yeah, it's
Well, another perfect score from Mike Schlusser. Perfect 60
you're fine, you're there.
out of 60. There you go. And there you go, the fight back begins.
Strong shot. Yeah, 10. Right side.
I don't know why they call him Mr. Perfect. I haven't worked it out yet.
An inaccurate name.
Good. Dog.
Still the shot that Braden's looking for. He seemed very comfortable, but you see him making a couple of side adjustments because both of those arrows were a little bit high.
Yeah,
This is incredible from Schlusser.
Listen.
Come on, Mike, strong shots.
It's just one or two tiny errors from the brilliant American.
Yeah,
But look, if you're up against this,
okay, right.
what can you
two
do?
arrows in the right side. Okay.
It's just incredible shooting from the Dutchman. Leading by 4 now, the Dutchman. So Braden Gelantine back to the shooting line first for the 4th end of the men's individual gold.
There you go.
Listen.
Come on, Mike.
This is
Excellent low.
outstanding.
Good, strong shot. Nice and smooth.
Listen.
Brilliant control and fight back from Gelantine.
Listen.
Still, Brayden. Good, strong shot. 10, 9, 8, 7.
Good. Dog.
Just another one drifting into the 9s. I mean, it's a brilliant shooting. You can't knock it. It's phenomenal. 115 out of 120. But you're up against 120 out of 120. This is absolutely outstanding from Mike Schlusser.
Great shooting from both of them. I know Braden's a little upset because he's totally capable of perfect scores just like Mike.
But you can't say it's bad shooting from this man. He is shooting really well. He's just up against Mr. Perfect, who's shooting absolutely brilliantly.
Come on, Mike.
Braden Gelantine will kick things off in the 5th end here in the gold medal match in the men's individual compound.
Listen.
Come on, strong shot. Yep.
Ooh.
Still on the line. Still a 10.
Good, strong shot.
Fine.
You got
You're a
it.
bit low, Mike.
Another 10 from Gelantine.
That was a good shot. One more.
Yep. And
Another 10 for Schlusser. Well, a strong finish from Braden Gelantine with a perfect score in the 5th. Schlusser needs a 6 to win, but a 10 to get a perfect score.
yeah.
Oh, right at the last, he gets a 9, but it's more than enough. Mike Schlusser takes the gold in the men's individual compound here in Medellin at stage 1 of the Hyundai Archery World Cup. He is absolutely phenomenal, and he's the gold medalist. A remarkable effort from Mike Schlusser. He was only 1 point away from a perfect match. He books his place in the World Cup finals later this year.
I want to win it again. I've done it in 2016, so I know how it feels, and I'm really eager to win it again.
Earlier this week, in qualifying for the women's team final, the Colombian trio set a new team ranking round world record with a combined score of 2,112 points, 4 higher than Korea's previous world leading score. Within that, Sarah Lopez scored an incredible 713 out of a possible 720 points to match her own world record set in 2015. So, it was a Colombian team full of confidence that appeared in the women's team gold medal match. Facing them was the USA trio of Alexis Ruiz, Sofia Strachan and Jamie Van Natter in what had the potential to be one of the weekend's top matches. The home side started strongly. Lopez finished the first end with a 10, which meant the Colombians only dropped 2 points. The USA made a slower start and found themselves behind early on. There was nothing to separate the teams in the second end, but Sarah Lopez took her chance in the third, despite missing out on perfect 10s.
59 though is enough for Colombia to extend their lead over the USA in the gold medal match. Colombia delighting the packed out crowd here in Medellin.
The USA finished strongly. A 10 from Alexis Ruiz meant they only dropped a single point in the final end. But it wasn't quite enough, as the Colombians were left needing a 10 to win with their final arrow.
Bang! Right down the middle. Team Colombia are the gold medalists here in the women's team compound.
Still to come, France have a chance of gold in both the men's and mixed team matches, whilst Colombia star Sarah Lopez goes head-to-head with Jodie Vermeulen in the women's final. In the compound men's team gold medal match, there was surprisingly no sign of the USA or the Netherlands, who were both beaten in the semi-finals by France and Italy. The French lined up with Jean-Philippe Bulch, PJ Deloche and Sébastien Pinal, while in the Italian team were Viviano Mior, Sergio Pagni and Federico Pagnoni. The Italians finished with 4 10s in end 1, but with the French dropping only a single point, they edged ahead. This was a high-quality contest, and both teams only dropped 1 point in end 3. The French stayed 2 points ahead going into the final end. The Italians couldn't have done more in the final end, as they had a perfect 60 to put the pressure back on the French, who'd been leading all the way through. With 5 9s in the final end, the French crumbled, leaving the Italians to claim gold.
Italy take gold here in the men's team compound event in Medellin.
In the mixed team final, the French boasted experienced Sophie Dodemont alongside PJ Deloche, who were up against 2 newcomers from the USA, Alexis Ruiz and Matt Sullivan. The USA scored a perfect 40 to race into an early lead as Dodemont dropped points. Despite France scoring well, the gap widened between the two sides in the third end, and it was another lesson in consistency from the USA.
Well, they lead by 5 going into the final end.
France gave everything to claw their way back into the match, but it was too little, too late, as Ruiz and Sullivan did enough to stay out in front. The USA were crowned champions of the mixed team competition. Brady Ellison is another proud archer from the USA, and right now he's in a race with Colombia's Sarah Lopez to see who can claim their 5th World Cup season title.
Brady Ellison, yes sir.
When Sarah won her 4th one, I was excited for her, but at the same time I was pissed that I didn't win to get my 5th at the same time. I don't know why, there's always this competitiveness in me, and I like being one of the people that's only done that. You know, we both have 4 now, so we're tied. So now it's a race to see who gets the 5th, you know, because no one's ever won 5 before.
Winning the World Cup final, it's so incredible because you have to win the whole year and then you have to win again. And it feels like a relief. You work really hard the whole year and then you have to win this event to really prove that you are the best of the best.
The opportunity is there.
Brady can close the match with the 10 if he
For
does.
me, it's the big one. It's that prestigious kind of event. You know, you have to be top 7 in the world that year to qualify. You really, really see how good people can shoot because everyone's calm and they're just trying to win it.
I think the best World Cup final for me was the first one that I won because I was shooting against Erica Jones and I have never won against her.
What could be the final shot of the day in this gold medal match?
Because I shot 147, it was one of my top scores ever, and I was so nervous because she was the best of the best in that time. She was a legend, and knowing that I could beat her and only 18 years old, it was really cool.
And Sarah seals the deal.
I think I've been able to make so many finals just because I've been able to be consistently get into the quarters, get into the top 8 and get good points. Every once in a while get on a podium that really helps, and you know, I've always just been lucky and just been able to get there. It's luck for me. I mean, it really is. Unless you can go out there and shoot a 30 every time, our game is luck.
Brady has proved that the passion and the desire of winning, it's what makes you win. So being in the top 5 seasons, it proves that you are the best of the world. And since I started archery, I admire Brady so much. I still admire him because he is the best. I really want to work so hard that I can be someday a Brady Ellison.
One of the things that I see in Sarah when she shoots that not a lot of other athletes have is an absolute lack of fear. Everyone makes mistakes, but she's one of those shooters that in a match and you're watching her, if someone gives her 2 or 3 points, you know that she's going to run away with it.
I really hope I can win again. If it doesn't happen, I'm okay with that. I'm learning to know that if something happens, if it's the right time for me, and if it doesn't happen, it's not the time for me. So I really want to win, of course, but if it doesn't happen, I'm okay with that.
I think that there's a strong possibility we could both get 5 this year, and then it's going to be a race to see who gets the 6th one.
Plenty of motivation then for home favourite Sarah Lopez, who was facing the Netherlands' Jody Vermeulen in the women's gold medal match.
Well, the winner here will claim not only the title at stage 1 of the Hyundai Archery World Cup in Medellin, but also a spot in the finals in September. Wow, what a start from the Dutch athlete. What a response from Sarah Lopez.
Beetje
29 possible for Vermeulen here to draw things level, but she needs a 10. Wasn't happy with that.
It's a big gust of wind right when she drew back, so I think that affected her just a little bit, but keeping it pretty close here in the first end. Jody getting a little bit of encouragement from Steve in the box.
Yeah, coached by Steve Meyer, the men's world number 2 recurve archer.
Blijf gaan.
I think something that's really good in a coach is someone who's very relaxed and encouraging, and I think Steve is just that, just a very even keel person, and it's really nice to have that in the box behind you.
Well, just pulling that one high and to the left.
Perfect score from Sarah.
Yeah.
Yep. X op de rand. Prima.
Contrasting draws as well from these two athletes. Vermeulen has a more complicated draw. Lopez is very, very simple.
Yeah, it's honestly just preference. Compound has such
Ja, zeker. X, binnenkant rand.
and it's so unique to each archer. I think that it's just whatever gets you comfortable in that shot feeling. And I think that Sarah is very comfortable in this match right now. I think she is definitely in charge.
Yeah, we're just in the third of 5 ends here.
Yep.
And she's shooting her so consistently. Look at the grouping there. There can't be more than a couple of centimeters between those arrows. Vermeulen trying to respond to this young lady. Well, if anything, that grouping's slightly bigger, but all on the same line, all horizontally perfect.
Just a little bit of left and right in those arrows.
Maar Jordi. Moet je een klein beetje opgepakt. Linkerkant op. Yep.
Well, in touching distance, but she needs a bag full of 10s, and even that might not be enough. Now she needs Lopez to start dropping points.
It's not really in Sarah's nature to drop points, so I feel like she's just gonna take this one and run with it.
Beetje rechtsaf. Yep, binnenkant rand.
Good grouping. Well, there is a drop point there. Nervy times for Vermeulen.
Yeah, I think one thing you'll notice is that pinky on her release hand likes to shake just a little bit, and then she sinks it down next to the release, and then it goes off. Whereas Sarah, if you watch her pinky, it's just straight out next to the release.
And for those of you not in the know of the technical terms in archery, the pinky is the little finger.
Little finger, yeah.
Well, Vermeulen wanted Lopez to drop points as well as score perfect 10s. Look at what's just happened.
So as a spectator, I'd love to see a shoot off here, but I know as an archer, I would not want to shoot off.
Yeah, shoot off happens and the scores are all tied after the 5 ends. Lopez going for a perfect 30 to avoid that.
Ja, zeker. X, prima.
Jody is definitely doing her part to even the score up, though.
Over gust. And look at that.
That's
it's dropped
tiny
into
window.
Door open. A 10 required to give herself a chance.
That's right.
That's better than a 10, that's an X. And now the pressure is all on Lopez. She needs a 10 to force a shoot-off. And she gets it. Where we thought we were potentially going to see Lopez running away with this one, but Vermeulen stuck to her task, clawed 2 points back in the 4th, and then leveled things up in the 5th. So we go to a tiebreaker here. Here we go. This for the gold medal in the women's individual compound event here in Medellin. Sarah Lopez in a shoot-off with Jody Vermeulen. Lopez on target 1 will shoot first. That's the target on the left. Well,
come on, Jody.
There is a big opportunity here for Jody Vermeulen going through her process.
Blijf bewegen. Blijven gaan.
Well, she's pulled it into the 9. They're both on the right. We will go to a measure, and I think that Sarah Lopez may have snuck this one in a shoot-off with a 9.
Sarah is the winner.
There you go. What a
And the crowd goes wild.
What a remarkable result there. Lopez thought she'd let it all go with a 9 drifting out to the right, but Vermeulen's 9 was even further right, and there she is. Sarah Lopez wins in Colombia.
That was the Colombian's 10th stage win of her career, and a win that moves her back to number 1 in the world rankings. Gold medals secured and places booked in this year's Hyundai World Cup finals for Medellin's home favourite Sarah Lopez and the Netherlands' Mike Schlusser. Join us next time for stage 2, which moves to Shanghai in China.